With Vicha now rebranded as GirlSet, TikTok is suddenly flooded with videos celebrating the new group. But what's just as noticeable is the silence, or worse, the ignorance, about KG and Kaylee, and the complete lack of accountability for what JYP did to them. It's like people woke up, decided these two never existed, and just moved on to cheer for the rebrand. Now, I get it. Fans have been waiting over a year for a comeback, and of course they want to support the four girls still in the group. But we can't pretend nothing happened. We can't ignore that KG allegedly lost her brother to a stalker. We can't ignore one member tried to end their life. And we can't ignore that JYP hasn't changed a single thing about their management or staff, the same people accused and even found guilty of breaking child labor laws. They didn't fix their system, they just slapped on a new name and kept going. This video is a deep dive, and honestly, a much-needed reminder of everything that went down with Vicha before we even start talking about GirlSet. JYP Entertainment had a clear goal. They wanted something like what Cat's Eye is today. So they announced plans to form the first American girl group based in LA through a reality competition A2K, America to Korea. This was a joint project with Republic Records, and the idea was simple: find American talent and train them under the K-pop system. The show ran on YouTube from July to September 2023, taking viewers through auditions in cities like Los Angeles, Dallas, and Chicago. Contestants were judged on dance, vocals, star quality, and even personality. By the end, 6 girls, Lexi, Camilla, Kendall, Savannah, KG, and Kaylee, made the final cut, and Vicha was born. All Vicha members were minors except Lexi, who was 18 at debut, and the youngest, Kaylee, who was just 14. At first, fans were excited. People praised the group's diversity and talent, but not everything was sunshine. JYP was dragged for how rushed the training felt and for eliminating contestants, like fan favorite Yuna, with the excuse of not enough time. Criticism piled up online. On X and Reddit, fans called A2K a rushed mess with no clear vision. Some accused JYP of pushing the first diverse K-pop group label in a way that rubbed certain fandoms, like Black Swans, the wrong way. The cute, bubbly concept also felt out of place for US audiences. And then there was the legal side. Strict US child labor laws clashed hard with the intense schedules K-pop trainees are used to, especially for Kaylee, who was only 13 when she debuted. After A2K bootcamp in LA, Vicha was sent to Korea to spend months in training and preparation for their upcoming debut. Their journey kicked off fast. Their first pre-debut EP, Save It, New Light, came out on September 22nd, right after A2K ended with the lead track, YO Universe. And they didn't waste any time. That very same day, they were already performing it on Music Bank for their first ever public stage. Just a couple of months later, in December, they followed it up with Ready for the World, a reworked version of the A2K theme song, giving fans one more taste of what was coming. Then, January 26th arrived, the day they officially stepped into the K-pop industry with Girls of the Year and the B-side XO Call Me. It was bright, fun, and exactly the kind of track you'd expect from JYP, and it quickly got fans talking. But JYP wasn't about to keep them in a bubble. Just weeks later, the girls were opening for Twice on their Ready to Be World tour, performing in massive arenas in Sao Paulo, Mexico City, and Las Vegas. It should have been nothing but good news. Until March 10th. Right before their final Vegas show and just 2 months after their official debut, JYP quietly announced that Kaylee would be taking a break for health reasons. She was only 14, the youngest in the group, so a lot of people assumed the constant travel and intense schedule had taken its toll. Still, the group kept moving. Just 5 days later, they dropped their comeback Only One, along with the B-side Favorite Girl, both showing a clear step up in production quality. By May, they were even on the cover of Teen Vogue, but without Kaylee. From the outside, it looked like everything was lining up perfectly for Vicha. But inside, something else was going on. But then, in June, JYP Entertainment went completely silent about the group. Their last proper Instagram post was on June 8th, and after that, nothing. The only updates were 3 lonely posts, each just to celebrate a member's birthday. Fans were waiting for news, but instead, they got another blow. The group had been set to perform at Lollapalooza, a huge deal for a rookie group, until the festival quietly announced that, due to unforeseen circumstances, the girls would no longer be performing. That cancellation came on July 19th, and for many fans, it felt like the beginning of the end. When you pair that silence with canceled shows and zero promotion for their latest song, the worry starts to spread fast. people began to ask the question no fan wanted to hear. Was Vicha on the verge of disbanding? And the next chapter of their story wouldn't be about music or milestones. It would be about lawsuits, member departures, and a scandal that would change the group forever. And it all started with KG. After 5 months of radio silence since their cancelled Lollapalooza performance, KG announced on her Instagram story in December last year that she is suing JYP Entertainment for abuse. KG said she left the group after facing abuse and mistreatment from certain staff. In her statement, she claimed the toxic work environment fueled eating disorders among members, one of them even attempting to unalive herself. The company told the members to cover this up as food poisoning. KG revealed she'd actually decided to leave months earlier, in May 2024, but was still stuck waiting for her contract to be terminated. She spoke out about the massive company debt she had accumulated, despite being paid very little, and the extreme control over their personal lives. Her biggest worry, she said, wasn't herself. It was the friends she left behind in Vicha. JYP USA responded to this by saying KG allegations were false and exaggerated, and they never wanted to put the group on a hiatus, and it's all because of KG. The final blow to JYP came when in April, KG posted on her Instagram the link of a Google document that she shared with the help of her legal team. This document of 132 pages contained all the receipts of abuse, and she shared it because JYP wasn't taking accountability. And JYP did try to get the court to deal with this behind closed doors, like a close investigation, and KG said she won't let them bully her. So she released the court document, 132 pages of abuse and violation of child labor laws. There are 2 separate videos on this topic on my channel that covers just these lawsuits. On May 17th, KG posted heartbreaking news on Instagram. Her brother had passed away. If you watched her in A2K, you'd know how close they were. Just a few weeks before sharing this loss, KG had already revealed on Instagram that she and her family were being targeted in a smear campaign. She didn't name names, but hinted at powerful figures in the industry. She also claimed she was being stalked, both digitally and in person. Now, it's important to note, we still don't know what happened to KG's brother. Her family has never shared the details publicly. But shortly after his passing, KG's mother posted cryptic Instagram stories, which she later deleted, claiming her son had been killed by a stalker. She later clarified in another post that her earlier statement was an emotional outcry only a grieving mother could make, and that she was leaving the matter to the FBI and police. She also asked for prayers and protection for herself and KG. Since we don't have the full picture, it would be wrong to accuse anyone of murder without confirmed facts. What we do know is that the smear campaign against KG was real, with narratives pushed online painting her mother as someone profiting off a young artist and accusing KG of leaving group because she wanted a solo career. This aligned with what JYP publicly claimed. Recently, KG posted a video explaining that the court had asked both sides to settle. And honestly, throughout this whole case, her side appeared stronger. Then, today, August 8th, KG announced via Instagram stories that the lawsuit between her and JYP Entertainment had officially been settled. Both parties are going their separate ways and wished each other the best. Kaylee, the group's youngest member, had already left JYP in July in what was described as a mutual decision. KG's official departure came today. Just yesterday, August 7th, the remaining members were announced to be making a comeback with a rebrand. Fans are mostly happy about the new direction, calling it a better fit for a global group. Some have accused the new concept of copying Cat's Eye, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. The bigger question remains, where is the accountability from JYP Entertainment? Changing the group's name doesn't change the fact that, behind the scenes, these girls are still working with the same people accused of serious abuse in the first place. Honestly, this whole rebrand just doesn't sit right with me. If I'm being real, I think I'd feel a lot better if Vicha just quietly disbanded. Yeah, I get it. JYP invested money, time, and resources into them, but money shouldn't outweigh accountability. The environment was confirmed to be toxic, and a member literally attempted to take her own life. Yet there's no real acknowledgement from JYP, no promise to fix things, nothing. And what's worse, it's like everyone's just moving on as if those members never even existed. TikTok, fan pages, and other platforms are acting like this is a brand new group, fresh out the gate. Maybe that's the point. This could very well be a marketing and PR strategy to soft relaunch the group and erase the uncomfortable parts of their history. But sweeping this under the rug doesn't make it go away, it just makes it feel even more wrong. And that's pretty much where things stand right now. Whether this rebrand is a fresh start or just damage control in a shiny new package, only time's gonna tell. But one thing's for sure, you can't just slap a new name on a group and expect people to forget the past, especially when there are unanswered questions and serious issues still hanging in the air. For now, all we can do is watch how this plays out and hope the people behind the scenes finally start prioritizing the well-being of their artists over the PR optics. I do wish GirlSet the best too, and I hope this time they actually get treated right. At the end of the day, it's their choice to keep going under JYP, and I respect that. I just hope they're given a safe, supportive environment to grow, because no amount of rebranding is worth it if the people in the group aren't okay.